to the Happy Healthy Days podcast. This is Barbie Dupuis, your host, and I'm here with my co-host, Carly.
Hey, y'all.
And we are back on to talk a little bit about what's going on this time of year, and that is that kids are headed back to school. So hopefully for you, mom or dad, whoever's listening to this, that means that you're getting back to your healthy routine. But just to touch on a few things to keep your kids healthy through the school year, COVID's still out, so not only do we want to up their immune system, which we've talked about in a previous episode, but really try to focus and make sure that they're getting some good nutrition through the food that they're eating, either at school or after school. I think one of the big sources of food or nutrition for kids today is the school lunch. And, most kids eat lunch at school. A lot of them eat breakfast at school too. And the school system designed a certain menu for what they have to put on the plate for kids, and that's regulated by the government. And the problem is that what ends up on that plate isn't always the healthiest or the most nutritious. It just has to fall within the certain standards that the USDA puts out. So by law, what needs to be on your kid's plate at lunch is fluid milk, a serving of fruit, a serving of vegetables, a serving of grains, which 50% has to be whole grains, and some form of meat or meat alternative. Problem is that in the past, they've gotten away with counting certain foods as a vegetable that isn't. For example, at one point, ketchup counted as a vegetable. Pizza and French fries have also counted as vegetables at certain points. And I don't think that's allowed anymore, but they still do get away with certain things. So really trying to regulate whatever you can. The problem with kids eating unhealthy lunches for years and years is it can eventually take a negative toll on both their mental and their physical health. Eating unhealthy food plays a role in their intellect. Kids who eat unhealthy lunches are more likely to score lower on tests and have a harder time with focusing or with their schoolwork. And also a child's dietary habits can even influence their sleep patterns. So we know that if a child's not sleeping enough at night, the chances are their attention the next day isn't going to be good. So then a lot of times that child is diagnosed as ADD when really they're just not sleeping enough, and that's what's causing the problems throughout the day. So there's a lot that you can do to try to improve your kids, not just health, but their performance in schools as well. So just to give y'all some examples of what is on the menu in schools in this area, we pulled a few menus online from different high schools and middle schools in Louisiana. So Carly, what did we find?
Yeah, honestly, pulling some of these menus and seeing what these kids are eating is absolutely disgusting. Yeah, sometimes they're given a choice, but their choices are between mac and cheese or pizza, chicken and waffles, or a hamburger. A normal lunch for a child will be individual pepperoni pizza, a side of dip-in sauce, tater tots, fruit cocktail, or milk or juice choice, or it can be fish sticks, mac and cheese, buttered corn, salad and dressing, fruit with a milk choice. Honestly, one school had a really great menu.
That was the Baton Rouge area.
Only about 2 days out of the month, they had roasted turkey, steamed rice, brown gravy, sweet potatoes, cabbage, orange, beans, and a roll, which it's not great, but it's the best choice.
Definitely a huge stride compared to pizza and tater tots.
Absolutely. So we don't be feeding our kids this stuff. We want them to learn the difference between real food and fake food. And I think the things that are put on their plate sometimes are not considered real food for them.
And I think, some of those examples Carly just said, hamburgers, French fries, tater tots, I think if you can buy it at a fast food restaurant, it's probably not something we should be serving our kids. And especially, the habits that start during childhood, a lot of times follow us all the way through adulthood. So if we train them to eat these unhealthy foods, then chances are that person's going to grow up and continue to go to fast food restaurants or go out to eat and order the least healthy thing on the menu. Whereas if all schools would develop some healthier options, like we said that one in the Baton Rouge area that had oven baked chicken and glazed sweet potatoes, rice dressing, salad, that would be a much better meal for our kids to have. And like we said, we're not here to knock the school system. We know that they've made a lot of strides and they're doing the best that they can, but there's always room for improvement, and we really should be focus on this because this is our future generations, so we want them to be eating nutritious food so that way they can focus better in class, they can get a good education, and then those are the ones that are going to lead our economy for years to come. So it really does make a huge difference. So the thing is that I know most of you and a lot of kids' schools don't allow you to bring lunch. So your kid is going to eat the school lunch no matter what, and we know that that's out of your control. However, if your school does allow you to bring lunch, then try to bring it if you can, or try to pack it for your kids. I can put a link. I see it on Amazon all the time. There's these little lunch containers, and they're portioned into
little bento boxes.
Yeah, it's
they're
like
awesome.
a little bento box, and it's got little tiny compartments, and you could put like a little bit of fruit or a little bit of nuts, a little bit of veggies, some meat, and just give them a little variety. And I promise that would not only make them feel better, but it would help them focus and last throughout the school day. And now we do understand that sometimes you can't pack a lunch, so I think educating your kids on what would be the healthier choice in this menu. And, it was very easy for us to pull these menus online. So maybe go to your kid's school's website, figure out the lunch menu, and go through it with your kid and be like, okay, on this day, it would be much better for you to pick the chicken or the baked fish instead of the spicy chicken sandwich or whatever it is that they're ordering. And, the biggest problem is, like I said, eating meals over the long term is what's going to cause problems. So yes, eating one unhealthy meal a day might not be the end of the world, but the problem too is not only are they eating these burgers and fries, but a lot of schools also have vending machines, or they have other programs where the kid can go to the vending machine and get a honey bun or a bag of chips, or they sell ice cream or popsicles in the cafeteria too, so not only are they eating a pretty high calorie meal, but they're also adding on multiple snacks and different things, and that's where we can really run into some problems. So I think it's not about just trying to send them with a healthy lunch, but also educating them on what healthier choices are, so if they are eating a school lunch, they can make a better choice. And then not only that, but if you can't control what's going on at lunch, which you might teach your kids how to eat healthier and they may not want to listen to you. You might take the time to print the menu, go through it with them, and then when it comes down to it, they still want to pick the pizza. And like we said, you can only control so much. So I think also learning to provide nutritious snacks at home, when they get home from school, or if they're not eating breakfast at school in the morning. So just some of the most popular kids snacks. So Carly, what are some ideas of some healthier snack options for kids?
Yeah, absolutely. Like Barbie said, it starts at home. So just telling your kid healthy alternatives. Instead of those processed goldfish, maybe do the Snipple Mills crackers that are made with real ingredients. Instead of these Quaker bars, these Cliff bars that are loaded with carbohydrates.
Chewy granola bars.
Yeah. They have the That's It bars that are literally made with 2 ingredients. Reading those ingredients, it's apples and cinnamon, or apples and dates, real food that we can recognize. Then instead of these Go-Gurts, these high dairy snacks, we can do the Go-Go squeezes. They're the applesauce and those little push pouches. Those are totally fine. And instead of doing fruit snacks and fruit juices, do real fruit. So you're getting those natural fibers and natural vitamins, that these synthetic sugars and additives for your child.
I think one cool thing that I've seen a lot lately that moms are doing, and neither Carly or I have children, so we don't have some parenting advice for you in snacks, but I have seen a lot of people will make kind of like a charcuterie board with snacks for when their kids walk in the door. So when the kids come home from school, if you have out a huge arrangement of fresh fruit and nuts and veggies, they're going to go straight for that just because it's out. Whereas if you don't have something prepared, then they're going to head straight for the pantry and grab something easy like a bag of chips. So I think maybe even trying to only keep healthy options in the house. If you don't want your kid to eat a bunch of Doritos or Goldfish or processed foods, then we really can't have them in the home, or that's definitely what they're going to grab. So, the thing with our kids and nutrition is just trying to do the best you can for them as a parent. So even if you can't go and just give them fruit and vegetables, or your kids don't like that, just starting out with small changes. So starting to phase out some of the unhealthier foods you have in your home, or providing more nutritious choices, all of that, I promise, will make a huge difference over time. So even if you just have to take a baby step, it's still something. So start wherever you can. If you're looking for extra help or you're not really sure where to start, we do have a new thing in the Aspen Clinic offices. It is our grocery guides.
Yeah, those are awesome. Me and Barbie went through a few different stores, kind of took pictures of good brands and good alternatives to the things that we kind of choose every day. If you're a little uneducated or unaware of like these healthy choices, I know we touched on a few healthy brands like the That's It bars and everything. So if you ever want to drop by any of our 9 locations, we have physical copies of them. And it kind of goes through healthy choices, not only for you, but we even have a kids section as well. Kind of help you choose a healthy option for your children. We break it down into healthy snacks, healthy bars, even milk and dairy alternatives, and a lot of other categories as well.
Yeah, so if you're not really sure where to start or you want to start making healthier choices for your kids, you just don't know exactly what to buy, using those guides would be super helpful. Even if you just look at the kids section and try to improve things for your kids, but like Carly said, it's really something that we develop for our adult patients, so it's something that the entire family could use to get healthier. So this is just a little quick episode today. We just wanted to welcome everybody back to school, give y'all some ideas so you can start the school year off strong and try to help your kids live a healthier lifestyle too. If you have any questions, you can contact us on Instagram at the Aspen Clinic, and we will see you soon.
Bye.